He lied to his blind father to steal his brother's blessing. Then he fled for his life. 20 years later, alone in the wilderness, he wrestled God himself all night long and refused to let go until God blessed him. This is the story of the man God renamed Israel, and it's one of the messiest family dramas in the entire Bible. Let's go back to the beginning, to where this whole mess started. Isaac, remember him? Abraham's miracle son who almost got sacrificed? He's now grown and married to a woman named Rebekah. And Rebekah is pregnant, but something's wrong. Genesis 25:22 says, "The babies jostled each other within her." These twins were fighting. Inside the womb, before they were even born, they were at war with each other. "Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples from within you will be separated. One people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger." The older will serve the younger. That was revolutionary. In ancient culture, the firstborn got everything while the younger son got scraps, but God just flipped the script before they were even born. And that prophecy, it's about to cause 20 years of chaos. When the time came for her to give birth, there were twin boys in her womb. The first came out red, his whole body like a hairy garment, so they named him Esau. Esau means hairy, not subtle, but accurate. After this, his brother came out with his hand grasping Esau's heel. From the first second of life, he was trying to overtake his brother, so they named him Jacob. Jacob means he grasps the heel, or deceiver, a name that would prove prophetic. Genesis 25:27 says, "The boys grew up, and Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, while Jacob was content to stay at home among the tents." Completely opposite. Esau, outdoorsman, rugged, masculine, loved hunting, adventure, the wild, came home covered in dirt and blood from the hunt, Isaac's favorite. Isaac loved Esau because, and the Bible literally says this, he had a taste for wild game. Dad liked the food Esau brought home, but Rebekah loved Jacob. He was quieter, a thinker, content at home, and Rebekah remembered that prophecy, the older will serve the younger. She believed Jacob was meant to receive the blessing, so she favored him, plotted with him, enabled him. And here's where it gets toxic: parental favoritism. Isaac preferred Esau, Rebekah preferred Jacob. The family was already broken before the real betrayal even happened. One day, Jacob was cooking some lentil stew, red lentil stew, and Esau came from the open country, famished.
"Quick, let me have some of that red stew. I'm famished."
And Jacob saw an opportunity.
"First, sell me your birthright."
This is the moment that defines both of them.
"Look, I am about to die. What good is the birthright to me?"
Everything. It meant everything. The birthright meant he'd inherit twice what Jacob would. It meant he'd become the family leader. But Esau couldn't see past his stomach. So Jacob gave him bread and some lentil stew. He ate and drank, and then got up and left. So Esau despised his birthright. Hebrews 12:16 calls Esau godless for this. And Jacob, he's not the hero here either. He exploited his brother's weakness. Both of them were wrong, but the mess was just beginning. Years passed. Isaac grew old. His eyes were so weak he could no longer see. And one day, feeling death approaching, he called for Esau. Because even though Esau had sold the birthright, Isaac still planned to give him the blessing. Esau left. He was going to finally get what he'd sold years ago anyway, or so he thought. But Rebekah was listening, and she had other plans. Rebekah's plan was simple and terrible. Jacob would pretend to be Esau. He'd dress like Esau, smell like Esau, even feel like Esau to their blind father, and he'd steal the blessing before Esau got back from hunting. So Rebekah prepared the food, dressed Jacob in Esau's clothes, so he'd smell of the outdoors like hunting, like Esau. And then, the most bizarre detail, she covered Jacob's hands and neck with goat skins. Because Esau was hairy and Jacob was smooth, if blind Isaac touched him, he needed to feel like Esau.
Who is it? I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you told me. Please sit up and eat some of my game so that you may give me your blessing. How did you find it so quickly, my son? The Lord your God gave me success. Come near so I can touch you, my son. The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau. Are you really my son Esau? I am.
So Isaac blessed him. After Jacob left, Esau came in from hunting. He had no idea what had just happened.
My father, please sit up and eat some of my game so that you may give me your blessing.
Who are you?
I'm your son, your firstborn, Esau.
Genesis 27:33. Isaac trembled violently. Not just shook, trembled violently, because he realized what had happened. And worse, he couldn't take it back.
Who was it then that hunted game and brought it to me? I ate it just before you came, and I blessed him, and indeed he will be blessed.
When Esau heard his father's words, he burst out with a loud and bitter cry. Esau held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given him. This wasn't a momentary anger. This was premeditated murder. He was planning to kill him, waiting for the right time. And somehow, Rebekah found out. So Rebekah called Jacob and warned him. Rebekah thought it would be a few weeks, maybe a few months. It turned out to be 20 years. And Rebekah would never see her favorite son again. She died while he was gone. Jacob fled, alone, heading to Haran to his uncle Laban, a man he'd never met in a country he'd never been to. He had the blessing, but he'd lost everything else. And that night, as he slept on the ground with a rock for a pillow, God showed up, and it changed everything. He had a dream in which he saw a stairway resting on the earth with its top reaching to heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And there at the top stood the Lord.
I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham, and the God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and you will spread out to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you.
Notice what God didn't say. He didn't say, Jacob, you're a liar and a cheat, get your act together. He didn't condemn, because God's plan doesn't depend on perfect people. It never has. And Jacob made a vow. If God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey, then the Lord will be my God. Jacob traveled on and came to Haran, and there at a well he met Rachel, his uncle Laban's daughter, and the Bible says he loved her. He was overwhelmed with emotion that he wept. He loved Rachel, and he wanted to marry her.
I'll work for you 7 years in return for your younger daughter, Rachel.
7 years for one woman. That's how much he loved her. And Genesis 29:20 says, "So Jacob served 7 years to get Rachel, but they seemed like only a few days to him because of his love for her." Finally, the 7 years were up. The wedding feast happened, and that night Jacob took his bride to the tent. But when morning came, it wasn't Rachel. Laban had switched the sisters. Under cover of darkness, with Rachel heavily veiled, Jacob had married the wrong woman. The deceiver had been deceived.
It is not our custom here to give the younger daughter in marriage before the older one.
So Jacob worked another 7 years, 14 total, and the family situation became complicated. Leah, unloved; Rachel, beloved but initially barren. 12 sons eventually born from 4 different women. Family drama on a biblical scale. Jacob had been in Haran for 20 years. He was wealthy now, had 2 wives, 12 children, large flocks. And God told him to go back to the land of his father, which meant going back to face Esau, the brother who had sworn to kill him, who had 20 years to build up his rage. Then Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to Esau.
"We went to your brother Esau, and now he is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him."
400 men. This isn't a greeting party. This is a hunting party.
Save me, I pray, from the hand of my brother Esau, for I am afraid he will come and attack me, and also the mothers with their children. But you have said, I will surely make you prosper, and will make your descendants like the sand of the sea, which cannot be counted.
He then sent wave after wave of gifts ahead to Esau, hundreds of animals as a peace offering, trying to soften his brother's rage before their face-to-face meeting. But even after all that, Jacob was still afraid. And that night, alone by the river, God showed up in a way nobody expected. That night, Jacob was left alone, and a man came and wrestled with him till daybreak. But this was no ordinary man. Hosea 12:4 calls him an angel. Genesis 32:30 reveals Jacob's conclusion, "I saw God face to face." This was God in human form, a theophany, God taking on physical form to have this encounter with Jacob. They wrestled all night, hours and hours of struggle, and the divine figure couldn't overpower him. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. One touch, that's all it took. God could have ended this any time he wanted. But here's what's remarkable. Even with a dislocated hip, he grabbed on harder. "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man who schemed and deceived to get blessings, this is the first genuinely honest thing Jacob has ever asked for. His whole life, Jacob had gotten his blessings through manipulation, through deception, through scheming. And God responded with grace. Then he blessed him there. As the sun rose above him as he passed Peniel, he was limping because of his hip, but he was blessed, transformed, named, and walking into the most feared encounter of his life with a limp, but also with God's mark on him. Jacob looked up, and there was Esau, coming with his 400 men. He divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and the 2 female servants. Then Jacob himself went on ahead and bowed down to the ground 7 times as he approached his brother. 7 times he bowed. 7, the number of completeness in Hebrew culture, complete humility, complete surrender.